Hello students, myself Happy Patel. I am working at Silver Oak University as a lecturer in the Department of Information and Technology from Aditya Silver Oak Institute of Technology. Our today's topic is CSS, which is one of the most important topic in web technology. I What is web technology basically? When you have to create your website or different web pages, you use different languages like HTML or XML or JavaScript, correct? Into that, we will discuss about CSS. Let me first show you what is the agenda or the outline of this particular video lecture is. First of all, we see overview of CSS in which we first show what is CSS, what basically CSS is, what is the need of CSS and why to use CSS. And then we'll move towards to structure. I mean, there are three different ways to add CSS file into your HTML files. And and then later on we'll do some practical. Okay. Okay, let's get started. What is CSS? Basically, CSS is the full form merged with two different parts is that cascading and then style sheet. What is style sheet? Basically, style sheet is a language standard based set of properties and attributes to define your style and to describe the presentation a document written in any markup language like HTML or XML. Okay, I hope you have some basic idea about HTML, that what kind of tags are in there and how to define them into your coding language, correct? So HTML basically is used to describe your content, how your content and the information of your website is look like. And then if you want to give them a style as in if you want to give some color or font size or images or video, etc., you need CSS, correct? And again, what is cascading? Cascading basically means there are some rules to determine how to apply markup that contains other markup. Okay, see, you can see one web pages where there is no such thing like CSS. You are only and only coding into HTML, right? HTML is basically used to show your content into different part of your website. Here you can see you have that we have one website where there is only and only content. There is no such thing like images or video and no any different font size, font color or font family, correct? And in today's internet, we can see totally different kind of website. It's more attractive, more creative, right? Let's take an example. Let me show you one of the most amazing website that I've ever across, which is Girl Boss. Here you can see it is a mixture of images and different font size with the font color or font family with an amazing slideshow. Here you can see. So this all thing cannot be possible into HTML only. In HTML, you can write your content only. You cannot add any images or any video or any different styling element, right? To style your website, we need CSS, which is cascading style sheet, correct? Why CSS? Okay, one of the most important reason of why CSS is in today's world, creativity is one of the most important thing, right? Your website should look like creative, should attract the customer which are targeted, correct? So first and foremost is to separate content from your web form, correct? Content is the text and the images, markup to define regions to specify types, form define the style, right? For the content. in the old times when there is no such thing like CSS, where through HTML you can change the color or the font size or the font family of your content. How to do that? Here you can see the old way. Correct? We have font as a tag, HTML tag, where size is the attribute and you have defined some specific size, and then you had written some your content. Again, you are closing your font style, font tag, sorry. And into next line, if you want to add color to your color to your content, you use color is equal to red or XYZ. Face is nothing but the family you want to use for your font. Correct? So this is how you wrote your HTML. But this is the mix of your styling content and your information, your content, right? Which is not a very good practice. Correct? So this should be like your coding should be like this, because that your content is different thing and your styling is a different thing. Here you can see in first paragraph or in first box, you can see that all the text we have created is for the content only, and in the last box you can see the header, font size, information, font family, font color, and font size. Okay, at this point you cannot understand the last box because this is basically the CSS which we are going to study into the next lecture in the further part. But basically CSS is used to separate your content and your styling part. And what the separation get us, correct? What are the importance and what are the inspiration behind it? That when you write any CSS file, you have to write it once only, because when you write it once, you can use it so many times. As specify the style icon for every instance of that class, specify the font once for all the text on the HTML pages that you have identified as a header. The style sheet can be separated file which all HTML pages on your entire site can link into. Only have to specify the style once for your entire size. It means if you have created any CSS file, and in that CSS file, if you have created any styling elements, you can use that particular file into n number of HTML file. So you have to write it once and use it so many times. Correct? This is one of the most important advantages of your CSS file. And then let's move towards how to add CSS into your website. There are basically three different types. One is inline, internal CSS, and external CSS. Okay, we are getting only overview of this, all of this here. Later on, we'll study deep into this. First, inline CSS, where you can write your HTML code on your and your CSS code into one line only, where you use here, you can see tag, any HTML tag you can say. Into that tag you have to add style as an attribute, and in that particular attribute you can add any styling or any correct. And then into internal CSS you can add style as a tag into your header form, into your header tag, right? And into that style tag you can add your styling elements, or you can add your CSS file, and then you have to close the style element. Again, into external, last, into external file you have to create different CSS file, and then you have to merge that CSS file into your HTML file so that you get the desired output, right? So basically your introduction part is covered. Next, we will see in detail of all of three types of CSS, and we are going to cover basic CSS practical on that. Thank you.